Good morning and welcome to Newswatch Today. I'm Summer Ottershot.
And I'm Raylan Lakatos. Thousands protest in Jerusalem.
Also, our favorite dinosaur is making a comeback.
Cameron Lee is here with your forecast, and Emmeline Perkins has your latest in sports news. This is Newswatch Today.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Right now we have our first look at weather. Cameron, how's it looking out there?
Well, we all felt it this morning, very rainy, very droopy outside, but thankfully it's no longer like that. We've got cloudy, 34 degrees, but as we look later into today, it's just gonna switch up in degrees, 45 degrees. It's only gonna get a little bit warmer, but it's still gonna be cloudy. We have humidity at 95%, and those winds are pretty heavy, 60 miles per hour, but it looks like we could have a little bit more of a high as we get later into tonight. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cameron. I guess we'll know more in just a little while during your full forecast.
I sure hope it warms up before this weekend. Tens of thousands of protesters gathered on Monday in Israel. The protest is in response to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's judicial reforms. Netanyahu says that judicial courts have surpassed their authority and reform is needed. Despite a plea from President Isaac Herzog to halt the legislative changes on Sunday night, the government proceeded to reform the bill on Monday. Herzog warned that Israel is on the brink of constitutional and social collapse and possibly faces a violent collision. This past Monday, 3 students lost their lives and 5 more are injured after a gunman came onto Michigan State campus at about 8:30 at night. Anthony Swain McCrae, the 43-year-old shooter, has no known connection to the school and caused about 50,000 students in the school to panic. The shooter's father said that McCrae grew bitter and isolated himself after his mother's death 2 years prior. He pled guilty to a misdemeanor in 2019 and his probation ended in May of 2021. He proceeded to shoot himself before police could question him. Evangel University's theater is known for performing quality productions, and this spring's musical is preparing to be no exception. Auditions for the musical, Children of Eden, took place earlier this week in the Barnett Fine Arts Center. Students representing a variety of departments and experience levels participated in the 2-day process. Dance and vocal auditions were on Sunday, and acting auditions took place Monday evening. Associate Professor of Theater, Dr. Vicky Wisdom, is looking for a triple threat performers when it comes to casting.
With this show, especially in a musical, we've got to have students that are strong actors, but they are also very strong vocally. Movement is a win for us when we get those students that can pick up choreography quickly.
Rehearsals begin this week once the final casting decisions are made, and opening night is Thursday, March 30th.
The film adaptation of the confessional musical has 2 Evangel University connections. This Broadway-style production is based on a trilogy of books by New York Times best-selling author Beverly Lewis. Lewis is a 1972 graduate of Evangel and was honored in 2003 as the Distinguished Alumna of the Year. The producer and director of the film, Stephen Yake, is a 1981 graduate of Evangel. In 2016, Yake was inducted into the Evangel Communication Department's Wall of Fame. The film is set for release in theaters for 1 day only on Monday, February 20th. Evangel looks to the community when unsure of what to do with excess linens. The university recently donated 800 blankets to multiple organizations in the Springfield area. What originally started out as a gift to individuals staying in the Evangel's residence halls during summer camps spread throughout the community. Recipients of the blankets included the Veterans Coming Home Center, the Kitchen Incorporated, Hope Homes of the Ozarks, and the International Institute. Autumn Walker speaks on how Evangel looked to the community when wondering what to do with the excess blankets.
I just reached out to the faculty and staff and asked if anybody knew of any groups or organizations in the community that would need them. And pretty much immediately I got 4 different organizations that were interested in taking the blankets. There were about 800 total, so each organization took around 200.
University is thrilled that these organizations will get to put the blankets to good use within their groups. Evangel is pleased that they had the opportunity of being a helping hand to the community. Evangel University recently received a generous gift. Here is Nick Drescher with more on the story.
It seems like this year is kicking off to an interesting start, as construction is being set up for the additional area for the Ashcroft Center, called the Valor Center. This project is a part of the $18.5 million that were fundraised as the Maybe Foundation awarded the project with a $2 million grant.
The momentum really began about a year ago when Dr. Mike came on campus. We began going out to donors and showing it to them. We had a donor step forward and picked a couple of them and said, we really like those. And then since then, we've been raising money to complete the Valor Center project.
The center is one project included in Evangel's Here.Now campaign, raising tons of support for several building projects.
It will, in a lot of ways, take the place of the Ashcroft Center. We'll still use the Ashcroft Center because we want to have simultaneous practices for basketball and volleyball.
Construction on the Valor Center should begin in a few weeks, and the estimated time for the project to be completed will be in the next 12 to 18 months. The 70,000 square foot arena and training facility will be located on the north end of the university's campus.
It looks like it's going to be a bit of a long and challenging task, but thanks to the people helping out, construction on the project should be beginning pretty soon. Hopefully we'll be having more updates on it as it continues on until it's eventually finished, but for now, we'll just have to wait and see. Reporting from Newswatch, I'm Nick Drescher.
Up next, we'll be talking with Cole Cooper to learn more about what is currently happening in student government.
This and more when we get back after this break.
Your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
Thank you. Did you see anyone's broccoli? You moved it. Thanks for helping us. No problem.
You're welcome. We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
A local MSU graduate is taking steps to begin a new business in the world of 3D printing. Kyle Duckworth is a recent informational tech graduate who is putting those skills into creating a new online 3D printing service. Duckworth has founded 3dforge.com, an online service that allows customers to select, request, and design different products and have the products shipped right to their door. Duckworth began developing the business months ago, but he did speak on the progress the site has made.
We're definitely in our early grounds and trying to figure out where we stand and everything. And we're just kind of trying to test out the market to see where we can operate.
Duckworth hopes to grow his business into one of the early reliable sources of 3D model printing. Staying healthy during the winter months is a challenge for nearly everyone. Viruses are cycling, and the cold weather is keeping people cooped up inside and in close contact with one another. The lack of proper ventilation indoors is a breeding ground for illness, which is why it's important to take good care of yourself and maintain a healthy immune system. Lots of sleep, healthy eating, and exercise are all very effective in promoting health. But if you do end up getting sick, Evangel's nurse practitioner, Susie Bryan, has a tip for you.
The thing that's going to make you get better is time. So you really just need to rest and take medicine for your symptoms if you need it, and monitor that to make sure you're getting better over the next several days.
Nurse Susie's services are available for all Evangel students. Summer Roddershot is standing by with a special guest. Summer?
Thanks, Raylan. With me today is Cole Cooper. He is a senator here on campus. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
So first, what year are you and what is your position on Senate?
So I am a freshman and I am a senator at large, which means that I represent all students at Evangel.
All students or all freshmen?
All students.
All students. Okay, I like it. What are you guys currently working on in student government?
So we are currently working on, as far as campus projects go, we are working on a permanent solution for basketball racks at Volley courts.
Okay.
Currently there is a small bin, but we are looking for a permanent place to hold basketballs and other sports type equipment.
Yeah.
Another thing we are looking into is baseball field lights for our baseball fields.
That's very interesting. So both of them are sort of sporty, but those are things that students have made aware to you, correct?
Very clear.
Are there other goals that Senate has for this semester? Are there other things you guys want to see get done or want to at least start on?
Yes, one thing that administration has made very clear to us, or very important, is that we are really looking for ways to save energy this year. How can we make Evangel not only a more green campus, but more energy efficient?
Okay, that's really cool. What sparked that exactly? Because obviously it's important to be more green, but is there somebody that specifically brought it to your attention and was there reasoning where they're like, man, the electricity bills are too high? Or what was the source behind that?
Yes, actually, administration came and said that we actually went over what we were kind of budgeting for energy this year. So we're really looking at ways where we can be more cost efficient.
Okay, that's super cool. Because I'm in a sustainability class, so I see how all these things are so important, and I like to see that Evangel's getting behind that and something greener. A couple years ago, Evangel used to have recycling bins in all of the dorms. Is that ever something, if we're on that track of going greener, is that something that they would ever make possible to bring back?
That is something we have actually looked into. Is a whole process with finding somebody who's willing to, not only an organization on campus that's willing to go in and do all the recycling, but then a outside company that's willing to come and take those recycled goods.
Okay, very interesting. Sorry, that was just something I always think about because I miss the recycling bins, because my first year they had a recycling process, but that seemed to have died out, so interesting. What does the induction process look like for new members? So if I wanted to join Senate, how would I go about that? How would people who don't know anybody on Senate do that?
Yes, so in the fall semesters, we hold elections for the positions of hall presidents, the freshman, junior, senior, sophomore presidents, and then most other positions are appointed by the Senate President and Exec Committee. But there will be lots posted. Usually there is a form on the Connect app that you can fill out in the fall semester.
That is super cool. So you joined, did you come in to Evangel and were you planning on being a part of Senate? Was student government always something on your mind, or was it something that you just joined on a whim?
I was really interested in becoming freshman president this year. I actually lost the election, but it's okay because I really enjoy representing all of campus. I get to look at a wider variety of issues versus just things that affect just the freshman class.
That is very cool. So looking forward, if somebody doesn't want to be on Senate but still wants to be involved in part of the student government, how would they do about going that?
Yes, so every other Monday night, We have our open forum meetings, which anyone is allowed to come and sit and watch. And this is a good way where you can watch what is physically happening in our Senate, whether it's ideas being passed around, whether it's God's business, or even presentations for new bills coming up. That is a super easy way. And then usually throughout the year, we will post things where we are looking out and reaching out to see what is needed on campus, or what the student body wants. So just polling kind of what people want.
So if I have an idea for Senate, and you said you like, oh, how do I get that information to you guys? Is it through Connect? Is it by talking to you directly?
Yes, so actually, I would say the best way is to find a senator, because they are going to be they know which committee it would go to and who to talk to about these kinds of issues.
Sure. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. Let's go back to the desk with Raylan and Cameron.
Thanks, Summer. So Cameron, what can we expect this week after last night's thunderstorm?
Well, it looks like we might be kicking rain to the curb, and we can see some sun coming through. But I'll talk more about that when we return.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
'23 is going to be the last year for Silver Dollar City's historic Fire in the Hole ride, and it is going out with a bang. The park is going to host special events, promotions, and park-wide fun in its honor. Over 25 million guests have rode Fire in the Hole since its opening in 1972. The announcement coincides with the plans of growth for the park over the next 10 years. Silver Dollar City is hoping that this heads up will give guests that want to ride the attraction one last time the opportunity to do so.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty disappointed about this. I grew up riding Fire in the Hole.
I've only been to Silver Dollar City about 2 times, but it was always a must ride. Cameron, what's the forecast looking like for today?
Well, obviously we had a big thunderstorm last night. We felt all that rain as we were waking up this morning. It was really dewy outside, but currently just cloudy, 34 degrees, and it's going to stay cloudy throughout the day, but it's going to warm up just a little bit. We're going to go from that 34 to 45 degree weather, so it's not going to be super warm, but it is going to be warmer than it is currently. As we look into tonight, it's going to cool down a ton. Going to go from that 45 degree weather to that 38 degree weather. And winds are going to be at around 16 miles per hour, but going into tonight, it's going to slow down just a bit, maybe around 11 miles per hour. As we took a look at our almanac, today's temperatures, we already know 45, 50 degree weather with a low of 28, but our average temperature for this time of the year is like 67 degrees, 39 as our low. But the record temperature being 75 degrees and a low of 10 degrees. So it's definitely been way warmer right now and way colder. I'm thankful that we're not feeling that 10 degree weather today. And as we take a look at our satellite, we can see a lot of movement throughout here. This is mostly what we felt last night. All those thunderstorms is what we're seeing right through here. It's passing through. But we can see the after effect of that if we take a look at our radar. It's just going to keep moving this way. All of this right through here, that's probably going to be some snow that they're experiencing up top. But through here is all the rain we were feeling. We could see that it's kind of moving through here. Nothing really over us right now. Now, we might still feel some showers later in the week. But as we can see, nothing today. That rain is pretty much gone for today. But as we move back over to our temperatures, one last time, around 40, 50 degrees today, currently 40, but we have a high of 50. So hopefully it warms up just a bit for us. And taking a look at our national forecast, all of this right here is severe thunderstorms. All the green is the thunderstorms and the purple is precipitation. So we can see it's kind of moving off of us. It's going away. Like I said, the thunderstorms we were feeling last night, they're disappearing. They're going far, far away. Hopefully no more rain for the rest of the day or the rest of the week for that matter. And we could see that in our 6-day forecast. Tomorrow, sunny, highs of 42, lows of 22. So it is going to be sunny, not very warm, 42 degrees, but 22 degrees as the low. And as we go deeper into the week, Monday, 60 degrees, Tuesday, 66 degrees. So it's definitely going to warm up quite a bit. And that's all I have for you guys today. Back to you.
Thanks, Cameron. I'm gonna regret not wearing socks today. My feet are gonna be so cold, but I'm gonna be wearing shorts when we hit that 60-degree weather.
Amen. I'm certainly looking forward to some sunshine.
Definitely.
Up next, Emmeline gives us the latest in sports. We'll be right back.
My kids put skis on as they were learning to walk. I want my kids to be able to have those moments with their kids. Being a scientist, I'm worried about climate change in so many different ways for my kids. From the second you have a child, you want to do everything to protect them. I think our action on climate change is no different. It's just an extension of being a mom.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Good morning. Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Class, today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
The Senate Judiciary Committee spent 2.5 hours Tuesday in a rare unified hearing. A psychologist testified the average teen spends more than 8 hours a day online. On Monday, a CDC survey found increasing mental health challenges among teens. A CDC report declared a national youth mental health crisis. 42% of high school students reported experiencing persistent sadness and hopelessness in 2021. Researchers say social media contributes. Lawmakers are considering creating a digital regulatory commission or setting age limits. Senators promised change and hinted at that the big tech will be invited to future hearings.
You know, I have a brother who's a teenager, and those stats, it concerns me. It concerns me because you know you love your family. So I'm really glad that people are taking steps towards being progressive about that and protecting students and teens.
It certainly is concerning, and I'm very thankful that I had strict parents that
yes.
was able to keep me away from that. And now Emmeline Perkins with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Raylan. Tonight, the Evangel women's basketball team will face off against Mid-America Nazarene to end the regular season. Tip-off will be at 5:30 in the Cook Center at Olathe, Kansas. The Evangel men's basketball team will be competing against Mid-America Nazarene Pioneers tonight at 7:30 at the Cook Center. This game will determine where the Valor will place in postseason. This weekend, the Evangel Valor is going to be busy. This Friday, the baseball team will be taking on Viterboro V-Hawks and William Wood Eagles. The Evangel track team will be competing in the Heart of America Indoor Track and Field Championship. This Saturday, the baseball team will be taking on Roosevelt Lakers and the St. Mary Spires. The men's and women's tennis team will take on University of Health Science and Pharmacy. The men and women's basketball team will be taking on the Mount Mercy Mustangs. On February 12th, the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the second time in the last 4 years they have won. Yesterday, February 15th, the Kansas City Chiefs had their celebration parade in Kansas City. Some top moments in the parade were when Derek Nadeed took on the Lombardi Trophy around for fans to touch. Travis Kelce got off the bus to sign autographs for fans. And Donna Kelce also got to join her son on the bus for the parade. Speaking of fun moments in the parade, Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey of the Kansas City Chiefs had fun trolling the Philadelphia Eagles. The players wore white shirts that had 0 sacks written in Eagles green. The Eagles had the second best defense in the league and successfully sacked 7 times in their 17-game season. But the Chiefs' offensive line did their job and kept quarterback Patrick Mahomes on his feet with 0 sacks in the Super Bowl game. Back to you guys.
You know, I'm excited that the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, but if I were to meet anybody that had been there that day, I'd want to meet Donna Kelce.
I am not surprised. Up next, Barney relaunches with a new animated series.
And Cameron joins us for our final forecast. Stay with us.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant! It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seats for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Everyone's favorite purple dinosaur is coming back as Mattel Inc. announced the Barney franchise relaunch. Not only will you be seeing Barney on TV, film, and YouTube, but he will also be seen on plenty of merch, including books, clothing, toys, and even accessories for adult fans. Mattel plans that Barney to be the start of a strategy to bring back classic franchises. This series, which is planned to debut in 2024, will be created for preschool children and centered on love, community, and encouragement.
Wow, what a blast from the past. I grew up on Barney.
I grew up on Barney too, and one of the reasons that they're bringing it back is because they're hoping that people like you and me who watch Barney as kids will want your kids to also watch Barney. I don't know how I feel about how he looks, because he looks different. That's not the purple dinosaur that I know. Cameron, how's the weather looking like for the rest of the week?
Well, we did feel that rain last night, but thankfully we're not going to feel that for the rest of this week. Friday, 42. It's going to warm up just a bit on Sunday, 59. Looking into next week, 60, 66 on Tuesday, so that warm weather is coming, and that's exciting. The only more rain that we're seeing so far is on Wednesday. We've got rain and thunderstorms coming, but highs of 63, so it's still going to be pretty warm. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cameron. That's all for us today. I'm Summer Ottershot.
And I'm Raylan Lakatos. This has been Newswatch Today. Please join us next week for more about EU TV and the latest Evangel news. Go to euvalormedia.com.